in play. The Atlanta Reign want to play a comp that's hostile to any sort of dive, especially to this Wrecking Ball play. Lip getting pressure now, has the translocate away in a known direction, but Hawk is happy to stay where he was. He gives up his mech, but Gator and Pelican strike a mortal blow early.
And Hawk has been one of the best divas in the league, of whether it's a Sombra.
I believe that their approach here, this anti-dive setup with the Lucio, is the best way to play right now. Huge hit on Fletter. He had to get topped up awfully quickly by a repair pack, but Lip from longer range alongside Fletter able to pick off Iris after the Cowboy falls down. The Shanghai Dragons encircle the Reign and pull them apart thread by thread.
Yeah, and I think when Atlanta goes in, they see Void, and that's kind of the target.
Pile drive here. In we go. There's a flashbang. Cowboy's able to stop the Wrecking Ball, but not Flatter. He's going to deliver that pulse bomb there, and Pelican loses his turret. That's going to be on cooldown for a little while, and the Dragons are playing ahead. They're forcing the Reign back, preventing them from even getting close to touching.
Yes, that's a lot used there for Shanghai. They end up using the pulse bomb and the EMP right after that, so
you're into a good position. That hack was completed on Pelican. He could be in trouble, but it's going to be Master that actually goes down to the self-destruct. The Atlanta Reign, they might be in disarray, but they're still able to snatch up Fate, and Lip has to translocate to stay alive. Izayaki, though, that's nasty stuff. Cowboy and the Baptiste fall to his hand.
And Shanghai.
Pulse bomb pile driver combination. This time Iris has the immortality field in play, but the Reign have to go. 88% and ticking, and Gator is itching to use this Earth Shatter. His shield down. The Earth Shatter clatters harmlessly off one of the pillars, and Hawk is taken down in the backline by Fate. Kai is getting pressured very up close and personal, and an amplification matrix is deployed by Iris. That's Pelican finding the kill, but the Reign, oh, they weren't close. Highest percentage, almost 30% after losing an individual at the start of the fight. Master going to get burned down this time, so the Dragons start with a short lead, but Kai will respond quickly. Hawk trying to double back to the Mega Health Pack, and Pelican trying to help by hacking it to make it come back faster. It's too late though, and now Void is going to be a problem. Hawk able to get healed up for the time being, and okay, Void almost backed off, but comes in to finish his prey.
Yeah, he's trying to play off of that Mega Health Pack, but not going to work there for Hawk.
He's the only one getting caught by that EMP now. Can the Reign respond? Yes. Void is picked up. He had a self-destruct, but didn't have the time to use it while he was hacked. There is a Transcendence here, lurking for Izayaki. And Fate, no! Over the edge. Master sends him packing, Matt.
Yeah, the Gator's going to actually finish off Void. So you have both tanks down here for the Shanghai Dragons. Should be able to winnable for the Atlanta Reign, but you're going to have Gator fall to the minefield that was actually left there by Fate. So look at all this pressure as Legion God gets right in Moss's face on the Mercy.
This is the Dragons, they just don't know when to quit, but maybe to use it. It's going to be Hawk self-destruct on the point now, but Kai's taken down by Lip. The hack rendered Sombra's defense is useless, and Izayaki transitions back to a defensive position, and Hawk tries to chase him behind enemy lines. He's going to get picked off now, the mech destroyed, and even with 3 players hit by the EMP, the Dragons have more than enough elbow grease to muscle the Reign off the point.
Yeah, Shanghai will flip this back. Does Atlanta have enough time to be able to come back and muster right at the entryway?
It doesn't cover the whole point there, as Fate didn't have enough time to get up, but it may not matter. Kai still walked into it anyway. A nasty surprise awaits the Atlanta Reign when they come home to call. And Gator going to be able to drop onto the point now. The adaptive shielding keeping him alive, and Izayaki's gone over the edge, but Lip, that EMP is going to hurt. Master, not a thing he could do to get away from it. And now Iris is caught on the outside looking in. Didn't even have to fade to make it happen, and the Dragon
Sir Echo combination.
And of course, backed up with the Mercy. Gator swings on in here. And that's a lot of damage to be dealing with. Lip doesn't miss. Luckily, Kai's able to pick himself up and recall away, but Iris doesn't quite have that tech. He is caught. And Fletter now will ward Pelican away. That's a nasty shot. You res that? Really? Master is very low, taken down, and this has turned into a bit of a staggered engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Gator's still going.
Could clean him up, but Pelican's able to get away now. Fletter's got to go aggressive. He's got no other choice. The focusing beam came in, but here's the barrage. It's Izayaki that comes up with the credit for the kill. But Fletter was getting his hands dirty, sure enough. And the Shanghai Dragons are done playing nice.
Yeah, I mean, his FAR is insane, right? There's a reason why Fletter was the MVP last year. Just the ability to play so many different heroes at that level. So Shanghai have decided to get right up next to this. Maybe an area that they're not extremely comfortable in, having to play some of these different comps.
Pelican goes on in and slept immediately. Another one from Izayaki. It's a rude awakening now in the duplicated Orisa form. Halt is unavailable now, so Pelican cannot bring anyone down from the high ground, but getting rid of the enemy Orisa is a good start. Lee Jae-gon clearly not in position to resurrect, and Kai finds the dynamite kill on Lip. It is a 6v4, and Kai sitting pretty here on that archway. It'll be the Rain to make their way slowly to point A, but sure enough, they'll get there.
Does Shanghai try and recontest? Fate back on the ball. Maybe a Gravitic Flux and a bomb.
He's in. Flatter now dealing with Pelican. Burst down, though. There's a lot of damage coming from Pelican's direction. And now he's able to focus on some of those larger targets. Fate is not going to be left alone. And Izayaki can barely touch. The Atlanta Rain really had to dig their heels in, Matthew. But now they're on the way to the Valkyrie from Lee Jae-gon, now expended.
You're looking at an Amp Matrix here from the high ground here for the Atlanta Rain, trying to get themselves some space, get Kai set up.
Hawk's a problem on the point right now. He's almost gotten one tick, and Pelican was again able to assassinate Fleta, really trying to leverage that Rookie of the Year caliber, Matthew. He gets pressured a little bit by Lip on the lower ground, and he's not able to get away. It's going to be Bob that actually finishes the job, and Fleta is back in the fight. That's 2 ticks, though. Hawk sitting on the point trying to get this thing captured. The self-destruct comes out, but there's no pilot to clamber back in, and the Atlanta Rain now have the numbers to go forward with. Supercharger thrown down. Void trying to hold the fort here with that kinetic grasp, and Bob making it hard for him. But Lip has a cheeky little angle here to play from now. A dynamite right into the back line. Massa very low. He needs to jump inside the immortality field, and now Fate tries to get involved. Pile driver there, but he rolls out of the immortality field, and Izayaki has no one to keep alive. The Atlanta Rain have come alive in the last few moments, and they'll have the cap on point B. Infiltrating here. That accretion whizzes over his head. He'll just take position right now. Pressure beginning to mount for the Atlanta Rain. They've lost Massa, and this is going from bad to worse. Flutter just going to hide out of line of sight for the time being here, and the Rain are trying to do 2 different things at once. Contest the point and deal with the influx of players through the choke. Pelican might be coming to the rescue here, getting rid of Void, but losing Gator is your fulcrum. He's your pivot. You want to play around that Orisa as much as you can, so Pelican has to go to another level, and Kai's found 2. So these fights are connection there, and Void takes a gigantic hit. He'll be desuited now, but the pressure is being applied to Gator. He's trying to return to the point, and he uses that Fortify, but there's too much damage. The Dragons able to identify a key opportunity to remove a crucial target at a moment's notice. And an EMP catches Kai and Massa, but he was still able to get the Molten Core out for a time. The Dragons will respect it to a degree, but they're ready to move in and capture the point. Lip nails Pelican up against the wall there, and now goes to try and deal with Iris, but that is risky business. He'll get it done either way.
Yeah, it's eventually Shanghai able to break on through.
Flux online. They're going to have to rely on that to make a difference here. It's Supercharger already thrown down. That was short-lived as Splatter takes it out with a Pulse Bomb. Gravitic Flux now. Izayaki avoids it, but there's no one to heal with that Transcendence. He's out of position. He's able to find Pelican from the oddest of angles, but now Hawk is going to make sure he's dealt with.
That's really interesting.
Shield is gone. So Gator's probably happy to play here, but he'll be the main target of the EMP. That connects. There's still going to be a fight. There was Hawk tries to take to the higher ground, but oh my, 4 people credited with the elimination on Gator. Iris's immortality field does very little to prolong his lifespan, and Massa is also down. Flash connect for Flatter. Now moving to the point for the Shanghai Dragons. They're trying to take point B, and they're 1/3 of the way there. Flatter retreats to a slightly safer position, but he's getting pressured from the high ground. Pelican's able to remove him, but is traded almost instantly, and Gator has lost his shield. He's struggling now in the back corner, and Kai's trying to get involved. He'll overcharge himself now to have some impact. Gator stays alive long enough to get rid of Lee Jae-gon at the very least. He'll be removed, but there's no Brig standing for the Shanghai Dragons now. It's up to Izayaki to try and top them, but Pelican's able to run Void over. Another success
with a Maywall and then capitalize.
Lip has already built an EMP though. One long fight, he's got it back, but there's a shatter available, and as soon as Gator gets past these barriers, he can ruin someone's day. He wanted it there. He tried to shatter, but it's interrupted. He loses it to Flatter's flashbang or a shield bash, either one. That's frustrating for Ryan. Hawk gets hacked. It's a big EMP on the high ground, and Iris never had a chance to use that amplification matrix. Flatter definitely rolls back. There's a self-destruct, and Lip gets caught in it somehow. That might be a crucial error. But Kai struggling to work his way out of his foxhole here, Matt. All eyes are turned towards a Widow, and he can't find any action.
Still very close in terms of really want to try and get the TP to the point. Or just close the gap here. Yeah, they're going to go right behind Fate.
Big bionic grenade. That's 4 players hit with that. It has to be an immortality field already, and Pelican's been picked out. Suffice to say, this is not the start the Atlanta Rain were looking for, Matthew.
No, I mean, look at how much damage Fleta able to get here.
No.
It's going to take a cheeky angle.
Oh, it's a Crucible.
Yeah, I mean, he's already going to have this barrage pretty much for this next fight. I thought it
to put that teleporter down. Gator trying to protect it. Here it comes. Air Matrix thrown out, but all the rain are knocked onto the wrong side of the amplification matrix. They can't benefit from the damage amp potential. Now the immortality field has to be used, but Fleder is playing from a comfortable position. A bird's eye view of the situation, and he rains destruction now in Atlanta. Gator getting attacked from all angles, not a darn thing he could do about it. And the Atlanta Reign are going to be sent packing with not even a single tick on their second offense. Not what they were looking for.
So now your goal here for Atlanta is to secure a draw, right? You need to like this Reinhardt over the Orisa.
The Dragons want to say anything you can do.
They
can
bait the
better.
TP. Yeah, they don't take it. Yeah.
Into fish bait. Gator gets worked down, and Lip is already ticking along nicely. Hawk out of the picture from Void in the front line of the Atlanta Reign, collapses in a screaming heap. Kai gonna at least find Lip, and it wasn't even him, it was his turret. Inanimate object starting to get more damage done than the Atlanta Reign now as the Dragons move on in. They assume their spot. And they...
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge first pick-off, right? Because Lip is a ton of damage at range that can't really be answered as easy, but Izyaki's going to take out Iris.
Fate is down, though. He can't quite get away. And you're right, I mean, it's tough for Fate to stay alive against this
You
here.
can continue to move up here, though. If you're Shanghai, with no Iris in the equation and you still have your Baptiste, you can definitely continue to be aggressive.
Where did this composition come from? We haven't seen this in the longest time, if at all. Where have Shanghai been keeping this tech? Hawk gets desuited on the high ground. Lip was almost ready there, but the Deadeye catches him. He still gets Hawk after being desuited into the Dynamite. This is something else in the Atlanta Reign again. I have no idea what they're dealing with.
Well, it's a brutal comp to play against if you're Atlanta, because when it
range damage, the Dragons even get to dip into the immortality field. But isn't that Matrix? Good stick. That's a nasty one, but Iris is going to lose that immortality field. That's well used for sure. Master not going to fare nearly as well, though, when Gator was held aloft only to be brought crashing down. Just like the morale of the Atlanta Reign in this moment as the Dragons plow ahead.
And I think it just kind of tells you about...
Relay J gone. Wrong number, sorry. Minefield now out around the cart. Gator's been taken down. He gets isolated. The minefield cuts him off from his backline, Matt.
Yeah, and they get Hawk as well. And now you lose Pelican. This cart is non-stop moving forward. Without a doubt, they were the best team this year and one of the best teams of all time. And how they are playing over the last 2 seasons, that's going to be an early pick-off there. That's going to force out the sound barrier early on, but 2 kills already in favor of the Dragons.
Nothing is going right for the Reign right now. A long time coming, the Dragons unleashing their full fury on the Reign. And they're far from done. Still 4 minutes in the time bank here.
Nothing there with the Maywall. Didn't get anybody split off.
Lip on the Widowmaker. Looking for... Oh, Master down, and Izayaki also with his own brand of sniping from long range. Kai Master both down. Izayaki now going to go with the Transcendence as he heard the shatter come down. But Gator found very little with it. He's going to be held aloft. He'll survive the fall, but not for long as Void will come home to collect. Hawk in the Minute Eva form, trying to dodge away, and Void just limbers up a little bit more for the battle to come. That's an unbelievable accretion. If Pelican hadn't got killed by Izayaki, he'd be off the edge of the map. And the Atlanta Reign are in dire straits.
Obviously with time remaining, this is from Lip's POV. And at that point,
I just got
obviously,
wild start.
you need to go back and kind of reassess what you're going to do compositionally. Obviously, Shanghai has some things today that Gator just
Kai looking a little vulnerable there, quickly forming ranks with the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, and Fate just kind of forces this positioning. They're going to actually get rid of Void on the high ground. So that's a big early first pick because Void on the Sigma helps protect Izayaki, and you lose him. Now, okay, here we go. Starting to get something going here for the Atlanta Reign.
The Hangzhou and the Torbjorn are really making their marks so far in the Atlanta Reign. Yeah, being expeditious about accretion combo there made Void fear for his life for a moment. Double amplification matrix now. This is about to get extremely volatile, ladies and gentlemen. The squeamish few of you should look away now. Gator's removed by Izayaki, playing safely behind that shield. Here comes the Dragon Strike, the section fade off from the rest of them, and the Transcendence is just a little too late. Izayaki now planning his next move. Masa is on the menu.
Yeah, it's just this hair too late to keep Fate alive, but it's a good halt into a flux.
Oh, Hawk's going for one of his own. Who's he caught? Lee J gone. That's a nice little catch there. The Baptiste for the Shanghai Dragons is off the table, but Hawk is trying to get out of the blizzard. He can't quite escape, but he's got enough health to survive for the time being. Dragon Strike thrown in, and Iris is going to try and ascend above it, but Lip finds 2. Can the Reign push through this now? Fate's in an awkward position and he has Gator pushing at him, but Fletter is there to defend him. Gator sitting on top of the ice wall now and it has to be an ice block from Pelican. He backs away, realizing he's overextended and Fletter's down. Gator's able to find him and Fate just commits to see what he can get. A big fat goose egg as Gator finds 3. Void is, it's going to be dicey.
He's got an immortality field.
He's being body blocked away from it though. Iris gets rid of it already and they get there. The Dragons aren't able to properly touch and still Lip is finding these kills. Kai is getting frustrated for sure.
I mean, Lip just coming out of nowhere, right? With these early pickoffs, headshots. This time he comes on a flank. I mean, look at this. I mean, how many times do you see Hangzhou back here doing stuff like this? I mean, it's crazy.
For the rain, and it's going to be an immortality field used early. Dragon strike through. Can they get away? No, Shenron has his fill. The Atlanta Reign grouped together behind Hawk now. And Master tries to look for a shield bash, finds nothing, and he is Lip again with 3. That's so frightening. Kai, it's a furrowed brow. He knows he's got more to show. That's a Blizzard to take Master first, and Kai is forced to play from the outsides of this. Fletter goes for an instant ice block, but sees Gator is low and takes his chance. He gets the enemy right hard, and Pelican's playing dangerously here. The Transcendence is perfectly timed from Izayaki, and even though Void and Fletter make decent pops...
You try and make a montage of the plays that they made throughout this, and you'd have to cut some of the best plays we've seen.
There it is though, Kai finds a crucial first kill and it's a beautiful gravitic flux from Hawk, but there's one coming back from the Dragons. Not a lot of follow-up to go with it though, and Shanghai definitely look a little weaker in this fight. Clean stuff from the Atlanta Reign as Pelican switches to the Genji.
At least give yourselves a chance.
Oh, you can turn it around for sure, but defending point A is really what this is going to come down to at this rate. That's a scary amplification matrix across the map here. The Dragons are well suited to use it, but it's going to be Lip that gets rid of Kai. That hurts the Reign in a big way. Get in here. Okay, Immortality Field thrown out here. Great timing from Lee J. Gone almost extra sensory there, but Master rolls over the top. Look at Gator pushing forward. The Atlanta Reign, they want it so badly, Matthew. Void going to retreat back to the point now. Now we see Lee J. Gone not in the picture to heal him up properly. The Atlanta Reign get across the line. Look, it's a weaker time bank Vikings position. Played that sort of health pack. It's not hacked though. There's no Sombra here. Oh, there it is. Kai needed that kill. Getting one back against Lip. Vindicated he is, and now it's off to work.
See how scared they are that they throw the immortality field up there before they even get that
no chances
on. Yeah.
Into the hotel they go. Nice hold there, and Kai is just patient with this damage. Not looking for headshots. Just continue to work down some of these more durable targets. Great finish for Atlanta. This is absolutely the bare minimum if they want to win this map.
Absolutely. And now
Canny patience, but he misses the pulse entirely. The immortality field is down at the very least, and he'll stick around to see what he can make happen, but there it is, a gravitic flux to catch 2. Fate's in trouble, drop down, he's very low, and Pelican wants to finish the job. Hawk's gonna have one as well. Duplicate so nasty in the setup from the Atlanta Reign. An embarrassment of riches to force the Dragons back, and so they shall.
And this is what I was talking about. Now you can really start to make an impact if you're the Atlanta Reign. Because
points now, we're still in overtime though.
Winning this map would be a huge change in momentum.
Still a lot of work to do, Matt. Fletter dives by, doesn't see too much, and ooh, this could be the end of the line for the Atlanta Reign. It's Void with 2 with the gravitic flux. They're going to push in. Kai doesn't know where to look, and the immortality field keeps the Dragons nice and healthy. Gator's lost his barrier here. Hawk has the kinetic grasp to allow Gator the space to move forward, but he's taken a little bit too much damage. Kai, he's not ready for Fletter. He goes in and gets the clean up here, and it's 2 ticks and counting now. Immortality field thrown down to the back line. That's going to force Fletter away, but he's got plenty of targets to choose from. A plethora of opportunities to make his presence felt, and the Dragons capture point A after only a short time. Transcendence up for Izayaki. First the rally. EMP connects, and Master just vaporizes. Fletter doesn't need to use the pulse bomb right now. He sees the Torp turret, recalls away from him, but that's enough for the Dragons for now. Yeah. The Reign are in retreat.
Atlanta just needs to get out. Try and get out with their lives. That's a huge kill there onto Fate. Maybe now once this minefield is gone.
The Reign setting up here for this one. Torp turret thrown down.
Nice heat there.
He's lost the pulse bomb. Gator though's going to get pressured and body blocked, and Kai is taken down by the self-destruct. Pelican trying to back away, but Hawk's going to be knocked up by the pile driver, and Izayaki sitting pretty on the Transcendence. He'll only really need it for a celebration at this point because the Dragons have got that 5th checkpoint. They have 30 seconds to work with, and for the Reign, it seems almost impossible to even touch. They're not going to get there, and they are in deep trouble. The Shanghai Dragons.
Probably within the break, they said, hey, you know, this is probably what they were having the most success with. You know, with that ball, nice shot there from Kai on Izayaki. Okay, so now you get some momentum going here for the Atlanta Reign.
Kai licks his lips. He's hungry even after that kill. Far from sated. Looking for a bit more action there at the back of the point, but getting rid of Izayaki is just monumental here.
So
Iris playing from behind the cart there. He's hacked briefly, so Immortality Field offline for a brief moment. And that might have cost him there. Fate's going to come in with a pile driver, and the Shanghai Dragons are able to reassert themselves here. There's more work to be done, but this defense is starting to come back together.
And it's the Echo swap here. The Echo really bothers like the Torb, right? Able to deal with the turret rather.
Ant Matrix is available. They're going to go for the rally first. That's a Gravitic Flux from Void though. Trying to stop them in his troll. Oh, that's an EMP for the ages. Marcy hit with that one, but Void already found a kill. Pelican down. That is brutal.
Yeah, this will be a minefield here from Fate as well, as Atlanta is just trying to back out. You just see how aggressive and fast Shanghai is.
The end of the line for them if they don't come up with something now.
A rally here
gets rolled over. It's the Shanghai Dragons taking it to yet another level. The Molten Core is going to be used to try and punish this aggression. Void doesn't get away, but Izzyaki goes for that Transcendence regardless. Fleta's committed here. He's going to have to duplicate. He gets an Orisa. Unlikely he's going to get out of this one alive. Let's see. Pressure on Master. Lip actually finds the kill on Pelican. The Dragons can stick around a little bit here. Fleta's got to go now. Flight into the small room. He might be able to get away, and he does.
And something that Gator talked about in his interview yesterday after their Dallas Fuel match is how they felt that they plays even faster, also able to play a little bit slower in that neutral game, as Hawk getting the Gravitic Flux off.
That's going to get Void for sure. Hawk finds the most important target, and it's a fantastic accretion in midair to stop Fate in his tracks. No pile driver now, and the Rain are going to get that first checkpoint.
Now you have Pelican here on the Cowboy. This is not something traditionally the Atlanta Rain go to. So good with him. That'll be a Gravitic Flux here from Void. Nothing gets cancelled, yeah.
Catches very little from that one. Void gonna have to try and shield himself in the back line, but he's a little bit out of sea. Yeah, Master's about to slap him all around, but Izzyaki comes from absolutely nowhere with the RKO equivalent of the Transcendence now to keep Fate standing, but eventually the Atlanta Rain will break through.
They do a nice job controlling that high ground. Izzyaki, Charger, Ant Matrix. You got a Deadeye if you need it. Oh, and you probably don't need it now as Kai's ripping heads.
Kai's feeling himself now, Matthew. Looking a little bit like Lip on King's Row. Pelican falls to the Sombra. Kai going to make sure that Lip won't be able to slip away under cover of cloaking in this next checkpoint. It's going to come up here for the Atlanta Rain. And they're going to have a crack at the last phase of the map. The most treacherous for sure, but a decent time bank.
It's a big chunk though. That's a headshot onto Fate where they try and bully him out. Not able to do so. Moss is going to pop the rally because he gets low.
I mean, this should be a 1-2 dunk now. Okay, Void goes down to the Deadeye. The Gravitic Flux doesn't finish. But Pelican's over now to find the one kill. Flatter challenges under duplicate and finds the enemy Cowboy. Now he'll dodge a lot of the damage coming from Gator, and this is the Rain stopped in there. The damage from like a Widowmaker or Izzyaki when he ascends to the sky. He's going for it now. Oh, there it is. Lip finds him. He gets the headshot kill. I think Hawk was looking for something, maybe trying to be cunning and get out of line of sight, but the Widowmaker brings him down. That is bad. That's a huge loss of momentum for Atlanta. A team who thrives, they live and die on that edge, Matthew.
There's not a lot they can do at this point of the map in that type of scenario.
Yeah, he's just dumped altitude entirely. He'll play for... Oh my! Okay, trades. Both supports down to Widowmakers here. It's Kai versus Lip. Everything else is just garnish. And there it is. Lip finds the anti-Widow kill. And he'll now assume a more aggressive position on the high ground. Wants to try and pressure Hawk down, but there's 13 seconds left in the round. Flatter goes in with a focusing beam, and Master has fallen. Lip comes alive here on the Widowmaker and lays waste to the Atlanta Rain.
He has been just... I mean, the damage dealer combo
they can't touch.
Of Lip and Fleta have just been unreal. I mean, Lip able to close here. Look, they want to brawl out as much as they can. They want to try and force it, and that's going to be Fleta on the Tracer, instantly getting rid of Kai.
It's a good start, and made even better by Iris falling. Fate on the rare Winston here. Don't see this often at all. And the Shanghai Dragons, they want it. They're so hungry for it, Matthew.
Oh, I mean, Gator, Hawk, and Masa doing everything they can here. And now it's just down to the tanks for Atlanta.
And it's a foregone conclusion that the Rain are going to crumble in that fight there. But it's how much time they can buy. The Winston picked off there, and the Rain, what a brawl. They're happy to go up against this double bubble composition like that. Void, okay, has his personal bubble, but he's just going to get run down. Somehow Fate's still able to find a trade killer. It's going to be a sound barrier here for the Dragons. They want to go for it. Fate's still alive. He does go down eventually, but Gator doesn't get much value out of the Earth Shatter. It's only Lee J got knocked to the ground. Fletter's still at large, causing problems now, nipping at the heels of the Atlanta Reign. And then the Immortality Field is way too little. It's way too late.
And you just know here for Shanghai, your team just has the respawn and stop Atlanta from even contesting here.
Flashbang connects and Fate has to go for a health pack here. Dragon Strike coming through now, putting the Atlanta Reign between a rock and a hard place. Fate now gets a nano boost. It's so hard to get rid of this Winston in the fight. For Pelican's a problem. He gets rid of Void before Fate finally brings him down, and the Dragons are a little scattered right now. They're going to have to regroup.
Yeah, they have to back out. This is one where...
Needs to eat a potential Pulse Bomb or the grab. That will be huge. Flutter goes in, maybe feigning that he's going to Pulse Bomb there. He holds onto it for the time being. Fate's down, but so is Gator. It's a trade of main tanks now, and again, the DPS get to run rampant in these back lines. Void, he sneaks in and gets rid of Iris here, and this is the Atlanta Reign starting to crumble. Void is really hitting hard, and the Dragons in general are hitting different.
And he is charged up as they do not even feel the need to end
on the high ground here to a degree. And Libs noted the position of the Reaper. Okay, Atlanta Reign try and switch positions here, but they've lost Master. Now their maneuverability's been compromised. Graviton Surge is used, but it's just to secure the kill on Hawk. It's pretty conservative play, but it still yields a crucial kill. The Diva's out of the mix. Flutter may have fallen, but Void is filling the gap as a DPS right now.
I mean, he is just mowing players down, just getting right in their faces. Is Zarya, once you even get a little bit of charge. I also got a feel for it. I like to play. It's got to be brutal.
2 minutes and 13 on the clock here, and a crucial first pick. That is the worst case scenario for the Atlanta Reign.
There by Hawk.
They eat the Dragon Strike, but they're missing a lot of their damage now. Kai really has to step up in the absence of Pelican. It's going to be Fate falling now. The Amplification Matrix allows the Reign to deflect this strike from the Dragons, but Gator's low. He goes a little bit too deep, and he might have overextended now. The cart's on the move, and Hawk is so low. Void is charged up and nano boosted. He'll even have a Graviton Surge if he needs it. Pelican's forced away, but some sharp shooting from Kai is going to lay the Zarya low for now. Flutter just trying to dodge away from Kai, but he's hit with the body grenade. He's in deep trouble, Matt, and Lee J Gon finishes him off. That second checkpoint's awfully close. The Dragons are still rolling here, and there's a Pulse Bomb in the back pocket for Flutter.
And you notice from Shanghai, they rarely fully back out of these fights, right? Always figuring out a way to kind of like half back out, whether the good old classic Ryan Zarya potentially to end this thing off.
Fate gets nano boosted. He wants it. Shatter comes in and is going to knock Void and Flutter to the ground, but he's going to be, not picking himself up at all. Gator finds a huge charge in the Atlanta Reign now. Grim determination paints their faces, Matt. You can see the red box of victory, but they're holding back the red tide.
And this is right into what Atlanta Reign would like them to do.
What a charge! What a pin from Fate! The Shadow to follow up, it's going to be Pelican and Hawk knocked to the ground! Flutter finds the Pulse Bomb, and they're so close! A minute 15 left, and the Atlanta Reign have nothing left to work with! The Dragons teach us that if we want to climb high, we must do it against the wind! The Shanghai Dragons are your 2021 Overwatch League champions!
Just an incredible performance from the start of the season all the way here into the playoffs. They were dominant all throughout. This is something that I think this team coming into this season, it was going to be a failure if they were not in this spot, in this position with how they played last year, how they expected to play this year, and they get it done. In the few years that we've had the Overwatch League now, they go from the absolute worst franchise at the start. No questions asked, right? 0-40. They are able to rebuild and build back the strongest. They are phenomenal last year. They're champions this year. It's a huge accomplishment for the players in the org.
What a legacy to build. Coach Moon, spends his time at the LA Valiant and then heads over towards Shanghai. He knows there's a job to do, right? There's a blemish on this franchise's history that needs to be erased, needs to be overcome. What an
turns to gold, or at least into a hack. Well deserved.
Big congratulations.
Wow.
He really did deserve it. He was an amazing player throughout the whole playoffs and
the regular season.
Regular season
Yeah.
as well.
I would say he would have been the runner-up for the MVP for the regular season. So I think this is a much-deserved MVP for the grand final.
Absolutely. I fully agree with that. And he